Hey guys, hope everyone is going well. Today's live stream, maybe a little bit controversial, something a little bit different to what we normally talk about, but something I thought would be fairly fitting, seeing as it is a Saturday night. And so there will be a few of you that are going out, that are going partying, getting on the drink, having a good time, having a late night. And this might be something that you do every now and then. Or it might be something that you do fairly regularly. And what I want to talk about is long-term success and what you really want with your training and with your racing. Okay, so there's a whole heap of stuff that people get up to on Saturday nights. Okay, it's the weekend, you've finished work, you're going out, you're enjoying yourself, and that's perfectly fine. But there comes a choice that you have to make with your training, with success and what you're actually chasing, and deciding whether you want a social life and a good time more than you actually want to be successful with your racing and training. And that's something only you can choose, and the only thing that you know which way to go. Okay, you can't be sitting on the fence with this one. You can't be halfway. Hey, Daniel, you can't be halfway. You can't be in the middle. Okay. You're either on the left side or the right side, okay? You're either going out there and you're not committed to success, and you'd rather have an awesome social life, or you're committed to being able to be successful with your riding and with your racing, okay? And that's only a decision that you can make. And this depends on how bad you really want it. This is the test. Tonight is the test. Tonight is the test of how bad you want to get better on the bike. How much faster you want to be this season, next season, how you want to be able to show up for race day. Hey, Olivia, how you want to show up to training this week, how you want to present yourself to potential sponsors, people looking at you who are following you, how you want to be looked up to from people that are aspiring to be where you are, okay? And that's all about being able to have an image that's going to represent success and represent what you're hoping to be able to get out of the sport. And a lot of riders and racers absolutely take the piss when it comes to performance and being able to set an example for the rest of the community, for the rest of the motorsport industry, whether that's motocross, enduro, road racing, whatever it is. There's a lot of riders and racers out there that don't take their sport as seriously as what other people would like them to be able to take it. And this comes down to looking at trainers, for example, strength coaches, personal trainers, people that are trying to help you with your health and with your training. Most people don't understand the sport and understand the level of physicality that's involved and mental toughness that's involved with any type of motorsport. And every time you go out out on the weekend, okay, every time you put photos up on Facebook of you absolutely smashed, every time you're sending out Snapchats to your mate absolutely blind, okay, every time you are waking up with a massive hangover on a Sunday, every time you are affecting your training during the week, every time you are doing these things, you move yourself backwards, okay? You're moving yourself backwards from being able to move towards your goals. And that's a big decider to be able to look at someone and tell whether they're really successful, whether they really mean what they're saying to you, whether they really have that drive, whether they really want to be successful, whether they really want to win races, they really want to be better, they really want to improve their fitness, is simply looking at what they do on a Saturday night. Don't worry about all the stuff that happens during the week. Don't worry about all the training. Don't worry about all the nutrition, all the stuff that they say they want, all the stuff that they've written down in their goals and the things that they want to achieve. Look at what they do on the weekend. Look at what they do on a Friday and Saturday night. And that will tell you absolutely everything about how honest that person is being and how badly they really want it. Because the people that want it really, really bad will be watching this at home right now. The other people won't even be watching this because they won't be on their phones, because they'll be out at pubs, they'll be out at nightclubs, they'll be out doing things that aren't helping them with their training. Okay, now that doesn't mean not to have a social life. That doesn't mean not to be able to go out there and have a good time or go out for dinner or spend time with people. But what it does mean is being able to draw the line between things being able to help you, drag you towards success and helping you with your riding, and pull you back. And there's a lot of people that wonder why they haven't made it, why they're not getting the results with their training, why they're not getting the results with their nutrition, why their riding's not getting better, why they're not running top 5 in the state, why they're not running top 3 in the state, why they're not able to compete on a national level, why they're not able to win at a national level, be on the podium, while they're not where they want to be, but they don't want to do all the work. Okay, and one of the big sacrifices that comes with success and being able to be a winner and be a champion is being able to put in the work where no one else is. When everyone else is out having a good time, when everyone else is out getting drunk, when everyone else is going out and doing things that aren't productive, that aren't helping them towards achieve their racing goals, then that's a real indicator of how badly they actually want it. You need to be able to take this time and go, shit, am I doing absolutely 100% of what I possibly could day in, day out to be able to move me closer towards my goals? Okay? And most riders and racers don't have that. They think they have that. They think that they're working hard. They think they're doing 100%. Okay? But most of these people are still out on the weekends, going partying, staying up to crazy hours in the morning. That's affecting their training, affecting how they feel, because they'd rather get the awesome Snapchats and the Facebook status, get the social attention from their friends, from their mates, from the people around them, rather than staying at home or having an early night, being able to wake up tomorrow morning and maybe get an extra training session in. Maybe I'm going to get up extra early tomorrow morning and get some more ride time in. Maybe being able to spend extra time working on your bike, working on your flexibility, getting your nutrition sorted. But most riders and racers don't do this. They don't put the time in. They think that they're putting the time in. They think that they're giving it 100% when really they're only playing at 50%. And they're wondering why they're not achieving their goals. Okay? Because they're just not putting in the work. It takes a shit ton of work to be able to grow, to be able to be successful, to be able to be better. And most riders and racers don't have what it takes. They don't put the work in. Okay, and most of that work is done behind the scenes. It's not the stuff that you post on Facebook. It's not the stuff that you send through on Snapchat. Okay, it's not the fancy training programs, the nutrition that you've taken 10 photos of and put on Instagram for everyone to see. It's not all the rides you've been going to. It's all the stuff that no one sees and all the sacrifices that the other people out there don't see. They're the things that count. They're the things that are going to move you closer towards your goals, because it's for you. Okay, when the doors are closed, when no one knows what's happening, okay, when no one sees the effort that you're going to, that's when you know you're going to be successful, and that's when you know you're going to reach your goals, because you're doing it for you, not for social attention, not for social acceptance, not for your ego, not for any other reason, but just for you. Okay, so when someone's there, when everyone else is out getting cakes, okay, or eating waffles, whatever they're doing tonight, eating ice cream, and you're at home eating the right stuff, having your salads, or you even go out and eating the right stuff, then being able to stick up for yourself, being able to stand up for yourself and know and feel so strongly about what you're working towards that you don't give a shit about anyone else sitting at that table, their opinion, what they think of you for sitting there and drinking water and having a salad with your steak while they're all out there having their chocolate sundaes with a Corona and a Coke. That wouldn't bother you the slightest, okay? And that's some of the things you have to deal with success, with being successful with your racing and being able to perform, okay? How bad do you actually want it? Most people, most riders and racers think they want it bad. They think they want to win badly until it comes to actually doing the work. It's easy to say that you want something bad. It's easy to say that you have goals. Easy to say that you have something you want to work towards. But the only thing that's going to get you there is actually putting in the work. And that means making sacrifices along the way. That means missing out on going out with your mates, going clubbing or going drinking. That might mean missing out on going to dinner. That might mean missing out on going to parties. Okay? That might mean cutting all these things back. Okay? Not spending as much time with your friends. Okay? To be able to be successful. Because that's what it takes. And most riders and racers don't have what it takes because they don't want to put the work in, or they think that they're putting in the work, but they're actually not. Okay? And this is one of the biggest problems that we find with riders and racers, is that they think they're working hard, but they're only working hard in comparison to the people that they surround themselves with, which are likely people that are going out, that are partying. Okay, so this comes down to being able to form a group, being able to form a group of friends, a group of people that have exactly the same goals as you. You want to be surrounding yourself with people that want to achieve exactly what you want to achieve. People that want to put in the hard work, people that want to put in the time, put in the effort, that they want to succeed and be successful with their riding and racing more than they want anything else. More than they want to go and socialise on the weekends, more than they want to have a late night tonight, more than they want to come home at the early hours of tomorrow morning. Okay, they want success more than they want the social life, more than they want the social acceptance, because they know that the end goal is going to be far, far greater. They're giving up the short-term satisfaction for the long-term goal, for the long-term success. Okay, and that's what you have to be able to keep in mind. So think about tonight. What are you doing tonight? What are your goals? Are they moving you closer to where you want to be? Are they moving you further away? And the reason that that's so important is because you can really, really tell a lot about someone and about how truthful they are about the goals that they're setting purely by the actions that they take. And that's not just from a training and success point of view. Okay, that's from a point of view as other people looking up to you as well. And that comes from being able to, people don't realize, riders and racers don't realize how many people are underneath you, that group, that community, that are looking up to what you want to do. Okay, and where you are and where they want to be. The same as you're looking up to that next person, the next level where you want to be, there's people underneath you that want to be where you are. And they're looking at you and what you're doing, and they're replicating what you're doing. And they're doing what they see as okay, or they see as the standard for where they have to get to. Okay? People have a hard enough understanding as it is in the motorsport industry of understanding what's required physically and mentally without having to go on Facebook, go on social media, go on Snapchat and post videos and photos of people, of you getting loose, okay? Or whatever the latest terms are these days with alcohol and running yourself into the ground. And that's something that needs to be able to change. For the sport to be able to grow, for the sport to be able to be recognised, that's something you have to be able to do. Today, there was something on the V8s. Some of the V8 supercar drivers, or one in particular, I actually missed it, but my mum kept me up to speed, was telling me that some of the V8 supercar drivers have nuggets and chips, or they're having some sort of takeaway meals before they go and drive. Now, the implications of putting that out loud, and number one, actually applying that yourself, there's a whole bunch of reasons why that's not optimal for racing, but leaving that aside, that is now reflected on people all over Australia, people all over the world, young kids that are coming up through the sport, older people that are aspiring to be able to get into V8 supercars or want to get into some sort of motorsport and driving. And now those people are under the impression that that's the gold standard for being able to drive a V8 supercar. So when people go out and train now, when people go out and eat, when Saturday nights come up, okay, they're going to think it's okay and perfectly normal to be able to go out, to be able to go and eat shit food, to not do the right stuff. Because if the best guys are doing it, why should they do it? And that makes every single one of us, every single one of you watching this, every single rider and racer are a role model. Okay, whether you think it or not, you're a role model for all the people before you that are, and all the people after you that are working to get towards where you are. Okay, and that's something, a big thing that the motorsport industry misses, is that they want everyone to take their sport seriously. They want it to be a real sport, a recognized sport, a known sport, but they don't want to put the work in. Even the guys at the highest level. Now, I'm not saying this is everyone. There's probably only a small minority. But those small minority are dragging the sport down. Okay, they're dragging V8 supercars down, dragging the MX Nationals down, dragging enduro racing down, dragging road racing down. Every sport that they're involved in, that these people are taking on this behaviour, is dragging the sport down. It's not making it any more popular. It's making it seem like it's a sport for Gumbies. Okay, people that don't put any effort into their health, people that don't put any effort into their fitness and nutrition, even though that I know and you know, these sports are the most physically and mentally demanding in the world, okay, and require more effort in fitness and nutrition than a shit ton of other sports out there that get a heap more recognition. And motorsport isn't one of them at the moment. It's not recognised as well as other sports like basketball and AFL football, rugby, and those types of well-recognised sports, because those guys in those sports are taking it seriously. They're putting in the work. They're representing themselves on social media with the right type of attire, with the right type of image, okay, most of the time, to be able to build the sport. So when we see high caliber people, high caliber riders, racers, drivers, posting things of them going out drinking, of them eating shitty foods, okay, the day before race day, then what this does is drags the sport down, and that drags everyone down, because this means that now the big sponsors, the big businesses in the world that would potentially want to sponsor and support the sport don't take it as seriously, okay? And when they don't take it as seriously, money starts to dry up. Why would a company want to put money into a sport where people don't even take their health seriously? It's not rocket science. They're eating McDonald's or eating a chocolate cake or cupcakes on race day is not going to be ideal. You don't need to be a nutritionist to work that out. Okay? Same as drinking alcohol. You don't need to be a rocket scientist or a nutritionist to work out that having alcohol is going to affect your training, going to affect your performance. So when people are seeing this, remember, everything you post on social media, everything that's out there, everyone you run into tonight while you're out there partying and having a good time are going to remember you. And they're people that could be potential sponsors or people that could know potential sponsors. Remember, everyone knows everyone. If you go on Facebook, just about everyone you have on your friends list, you're going to have mutual friends. People that you didn't even know that know each other. Everyone knows everyone. So when the time comes that you're after sponsorship, you're after support, whether that's financially or with product, whatever it is, and you're trying to get that support, and that person looks on your Facebook profile, looks on your Instagram, looks on your Snapchat, and sees silly videos of you mucking around, drinking excessive amounts of alcohol, staying up till the early hours of the morning, eating shit on race day, eating nuggets before you go and race a V8 supercar, then they're not going to take you too seriously, okay? They don't need to know all the ins and outs of training, but at the end of the day, they're not going to take you seriously. They're not going to want to invest in you. They're going to move on to another sport that does take these things seriously. And there's not enough people in the motorsport industry. There's a lot of riders and racers, even at the highest levels, that don't take their nutrition that seriously. They don't take their training seriously. And it sets an example for everyone else, okay? They think that that's the gold standard, okay? They think that it's okay to do those things because you've done it. You've got to a high level, and that's what you do, so that must be okay for them to be able to do, when it's not. So that's why it's important for all those guys at the top and all you guys watching, everyone watching this video, to be able to set an example for all the people that are coming after you, that are working towards where you want to be able to make sure that you set an example and help to raise the standard of the sport, because there's not enough people in the sport helping to raise the standard. There's a lot of people trying to drag the standard down, which is not helping anyone. People that want to grow in the sport, people that want to be better, people that want more financial support. Why would you financially support someone who's eating nuggets that goes into their V8 supercar? Okay, regardless of if they're winning races or not, that means they can be doing a shitload better. They're obviously not taking it seriously. Okay, same as if you're eating cakes and cupcakes and all the rest of the shit on race day, then that's something that's going to hold you back as well, and that's something you need to decide. Do you want to be successful? So Matthew, that's something you need to decide. Do you want to have the social life and be able to go out and have a good time? Or do you want to be successful? Okay, now that doesn't mean you can't go out and have a good time, but that needs to be monitored, and you need to be able to gauge that and know what are the appropriate things to do that are going to still help you to be able to move towards your goals. Okay, and that's the big decision you have to make. That's the point I'm trying to get across in this live stream, is you have to be able to make that decision. Are you someone who wants the social life, who wants the social recognition, who wants to go out and have a good time with the boys or girls, okay? Stay up to the early hours of the morning, ruin your training for the next week, ruin your energy for the next week, ruin your recovery for the next week because you wanted to go out and have a good time? Or are you the person that is so devoted to their goal, so driven, so motivated that you really, 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 really want them, and you would do absolutely anything to be able to get there, including going to bed early on a Friday and Saturday night, eating the right types of foods on a Friday and Saturday night, so that you can get up, go and train, go and ride, go and race, and be able to do the things that, be able to achieve your goals. That's the type of decision that you have to make. Okay, you can't be half-hearted. If you really, really want your goals and you want them as much as you say you do, then that won't even be a question for you. Immediately you'll answer that with, yep, that's exactly what I want. Okay, if you have to think about that, then it's probably not something that you want bad enough. Okay, if that's a tough decision for you to be able to stay home, you should want to stay home on a Friday and Saturday night. You should want to go home early. You should want to eat the right foods when everyone else is eating shit. You should want to get up early on a Saturday and Sunday morning to go and race, to go and train. Okay? You should want to do all these things. Not something that you're pressured into, not something you're doing just because you've watched this video and I've told you. Something that you want to do because you know it's going to make you better and you know it's going to help you to be able to move towards your goals. So that's something I wanted to share with you guys today, and I hope that's something you're able to take on board. So think about that tonight. What are you doing? Okay, where are you going? What's going to happen? What are your plans for tomorrow? If is this going to affect your training for the rest of the week? And is it moving you towards or further away from your goals? So that's just something for you guys to think about. So remember, train hard, race harder. See you guys.